I go for refuge and terminal enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and terminal enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and terminal enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Juda Zoge Jonam Noi Janju Bardo Dane Gyapsuch Dave Jinso Yebe Sonam Ye Dola Benir Sanye Dubare Ju Sanye Juda Zoge Jonam Janju Bardo Dane Gyapsuch Dave Jinso Yebe Sonam Ye Dola Benir Sanye Dubare Ju Sanye Juda Zoge Jonam Janju Badu Dane Yazuji Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamgi Dola Benir Sanye Dubare Shu. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming. The one who taught this peace, which has freed up liberations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification and complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes or self-being miseries achieves the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue by expanded varieties of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altitude to benefit sentient beings. The teachers who guide and protect her to you are ministrations. The one who is eliminated the web of conceptualization is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally transfer the four open noble light rays to you, the Buddha, make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I chant the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear and non-composite. Such is the natural dharma I have discovered. One day no one could fathom this teaching. In silence I will return to words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is a perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unseized, and has the nature of space. Its object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas, of 3 times are obeisance. The 4 C's of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dhamma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and keep teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If attached to own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there's grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, today we'll read from page 61, the Noble Minor Sutra, Dependent Arising. Page 61 is about this, the mantra which we recited, Ye Dharma Hedu Prabhava. This mantra, how this mantra the Buddha taught in the 33, the realm of the heavenly realm of 33, the gods. Let's read this together. So, idea is that the Buddha Shakyamuni presided over, and the Bodhisattvas, they were all around. Page 61, and in the gathering, Avalokiteshvara stood up in prostration to Buddha, and then they informed the Buddha that all these god and goddesses, they came to receive teachings from you, instructions from you, and they're just wondering how to accumulate so much of the enormous merit and as much as possible. And then the Buddha taught the mantra, Ye Dharma mantra, and this mantra should not be seen like a miracle, like a gold-making elixir. The Buddha, of course, the bodhicitta is referred to as given the metaphor of the gold-making elixir, but this mantra should not be seen as a gold-making elixir. It should be seen as a mirror for us. Mirror meaning, in the mornings we look at the mirror to see where we need to fix. So, where we are going wrong in your mind, just look at this mirror of the Ye Dharma mantra, and also known as the essence of dependent origination mantra, and then see where we need to fix. Say, all miseries, they arise from the causes. The happiness likewise, they arise from the causes. And what the causes of the miseries are taught by the Buddha, and how to bring an end to this cause of miseries is also taught by the Buddha. So here, and this should be like a reminder, am I really identifying the cause of miseries? Am I really paying heed to get rid of these cause of miseries? And am I really applying the remedies? Do I really know the remedies to overcome the miseries? And do I really apply the remedies to overcome the miseries? So without this, impossible. No blessings. The real blessing is learn from the Buddha and apply it. That's a real blessing for you, for me, all of us. If you don't do that, no matter how much we pray Buddha, 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 and then what we do is very different, there's no point. Say, like saying that, may I become a Nobel laureate in physics, may I become Nobel laureate in physics. You remind 100,000 times of the mantra, and you always end up in pubs all the time. No point. You'll not become a Nobel laureate in physics. So, this is a mantra, this is a real miracle to tell that you show the mirror of our own mind. So, how we should behave, how we should think, and what are the cause of miseries. Do I have them or not? If I have them, these are the things, these are the demons which traps on samsara. How to get rid of them? What are the remedies to overcome them? How to apply the remedies? And in a day-to-day life is so important. At the moment, I'm going through some of the, say, telephone conversations with the people. It is about some people, they are, I would say, otherwise extremely good, religious, spiritual minded. When it comes to the real life issues, they don't even budge. So I say something, and I'm trying to present it from a very secular perspective, not at all from the religious perspective. My perspective as a friend, and from a very secular perspective, no, just see if this can be done like this, so that, somebody can be benefited. When it comes to real life, you may put in the facade of a religious person, a spiritual person, but you don't budge. Geshé Dorji said, I'm very sorry, right? So you said it, but I'm very sorry, I cannot move. I cannot, very sad. So this is why we need these mantras, always reminder, not only for you, for me also. I need always have this mantra, right? How, say, when you're in the grip of anger, when you're in the grip of hatred and so forth, on difficult situations, how your mind behave, and then how you as a person, how you ascend to the negative, destructive thoughts. You approve of these negative thoughts, and you justify what you're doing. Very sad, extremely sad. So this is what I've been doing. Through the free time, there again, I go to this to protect somebody. And then it is such a tricky situation where you cannot really do anything. It's just to plead. And somebody said, friend, I'm pleading. Somebody, and not just ordinary friend who otherwise is very religious minded. And I'm pleading. And yet, he's not moving. This is not what I expected. So at least, okay, yeah, my mind says no, but so ye dharma mantra, this is what the Buddhas, this is a miracle. And I'm not doing in line with the miracle. So at least, although my mind says no, but at least to make the Buddha happy, I will just follow this. If you don't have this mirror, what do you do? You don't see what's in you. So this mirror should not be used as a miracle that my business will go well. I'll get a promotion. No, it's to really make you the greatest of the reliably happy. And reliably, the compassionate person. This is so important. So, yeah, this is what I've been so this class is so important. So when your cognitive transformation does not take place, just doing some visualization practice and so forth does not change the person, right? May look so nice. There's a Tibetan expression. When the belly is full, when the sunshine is good, the person assumes the facade of a Dharma practitioner. When confronted with challenges, the person goes back to the demonic state. This is the reality. This is what I'm seeing. I'm extremely sad. So what I'm saying is that this is why these teachings are so precious for us, for you, for me, for all of us. Just see that how we, particularly relate to compassion. Am I really demonstrating compassion under such a situation? So where you suffer, and somebody is going to be able to benefit it, which do you choose? You skip your suffering, and then you ignore the other's benefit, or you face the suffering yourself so the benefit to somebody else happens. So these are things, these are the tests. And I'm very sorry for that gentleman. Very sorry for that gentleman. So I otherwise consider him as extremely compassionate, very sensible. But when it comes to the small real life challenge, he just says, this is it. Just put down the feet. What is that? Put on the foot or feet? Put his foot down, right? And said, sorry, Geshe-la. Right? Okay. So this is where we need these mirrors. And when I recite this mantra, every day when I do this mantra, I don't see this as like a magical spell, magical, power, that I get some power. No, just to see how I'm so vulnerable to my emotions. So this is a mirror to tell me how when I go through difficult stages, how I remain strong or not strong. You're getting it? We are bound to go through difficulties in our life. If we don't use this mirror, Yedar Madrasa mirror every day, if you do tantra, this tantra, that tantra, and so forth, finally when we really face the real life challenges, we remain an ordinary person. This is just pointless. Better do something which is really meaningful to us. When you go through difficult times, that you can remain strong, right? That is important. So for that, we require practice on daily basis. Forget about tantra. Do these practice, Ye Dharma Mantra, just see. And then this, when you become stable with this will invariably take you to the next step. Then you will reach to Tantra. And you don't have to follow Tantra. Tantra will come to you. We don't have to follow Tantra. Okay. So with this mind, let's recite this together. And also there's a mention of the word merit of Brahma. This is mentioned here. Merit of Brahma doesn't mean that to take birth as a Brahma is very important. No, this is not a connotation. To say for example, to have the merit to become like a Mark Zuckerberg. If I'm given a choice that you can practice compassion for 10 minutes versus you can become as wealthy as Mark Zuckerberg or foolish, for sure I'll choose 10 minutes of compassion practice. What is Mark Zuckerberg? What is this billionaire? You die, you cannot take even a single dollar with you. This is reality. Whereas compassion you can take with you. So the point is that, so Brahma, it doesn't mean, for some, how many Mark Zuckerbergs are there? Only a few people are there on this planet Earth. Yes, of course, we require so much merit to take birth like him. But that merit is a mundane merit. This is not the super mundane merit. Merit, there are two kinds. Mundane merit meaning merit just to make you successful in this life. Full stop. You die, finish. Super mundane merit is a merit. This will make you to until the journey, gade para samgade bodhisvaha, and that you experience a total fearlessness and infinite happiness. If you go in this direction, you are really, really meritorious person. This is the meaning of the merit. Whereas the other, like some having a very beautiful body, or somebody having a very beautiful environment, wealth, beautiful cars, and then the fame, power, and so forth. These are all mundane merit, result of mundane merit. Okay, so here you accumulate this, and then in what way you're going to use this? For your just personal, this life benefit, or for the benefit of other beings? That's determined by whether or not you have the compassion. Okay, so the merit of Brahma here, meaning enormous merit, that's it. Enormous merit which is required, amount of the merit required for somebody to take birth in the realm of the Brahma. But taking birth as a Brahma doesn't mean anything, you're getting it? But it requires a lot of merit. For example, to take birth as a rich person like Mark Zuckerberg, it doesn't mean that it's amazing. It requires a lot of merit, but this merit is just mundane merit. We should not forget it. Yet this mundane merit can be used, directed, channelized in an extremely beneficial way to make you accumulate so much of merit more, and that it will not only make you accumulate merit, but also make you go through the journey towards the ultimate meaning for yourself and ultimate meaning for all beings. It's determined by your compassion. Okay, let's read this together. Noble Mahayana Sutra, dependent arising. Homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Thus did I hear at one time, the Blessed One was in the realm of the 33 gods, seated on the throne of Indra. With him were great hearers such as the Venerable Ashvajit, Bodhisattva Mahasattva such as Noble Maitreya, Noble Avalokiteshvara, and Vajrapani, who were adorned with immeasurable precious qualities, as well as various gods such as the great Brahma, who is the lord of the Saha world, Narayana, the great Ishvara, Sakara, who is the chief of the gods, and Panchasika, who is the king of the Gandharvas. On that occasion, the Bodhisattva Mahasattvara Avalokiteshvara rose from his crusade and, having draped his upper robe over one shoulder, knelt down with his right knee on the peak of Mount Meru. His palms together, he then bowed toward the Blessed One and addressed these words to him. Blessed One, these gods all really wish to build a stupa. Now that they are present in this entourage, please teach them the Dharma in such a way so that the merit of Brahma will increase, and the merit of the monks, nuns, and laymen and laywomen will increase much more than that of all types of beings in the world of gods, Maras, Brahma, including renunciants and Brahmins. At this, the Blessed One spoke the verses of dependent rising. Ye dharma hedu prabhava, hetum desham dathagato hyavata, desham jayo nirodha, evam vati ma shramana soha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes is one is taught by the great Seer, Avalokiteshvara. It is like this. This dependent arising is the Dharmakaya for all the Buddhas. One who sees dependent arising sees the Tathagata, Avalokiteshvara. If a faithful son or daughter of a noble family builds in a remote place a stupa in the size of a gooseberry built, a fruit with a central pillar the size of a needle, and a parasol the size of the flower of the bagula tree, and inserts this verse of dependent arising, which is the Dhammadhatu, he or she will generate the matter of Brahma. When such persons pass on from here and die, they will be reborn in the world of Brahma. When they pass on from there in Lada, they will reborn in fortunes equaling those of the gods of the pure abodes. After the Blessed One has spoken these words, the hearers, the Bodhisattvas, and the whole assembly, and the universe of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, rejoice and praise this teaching. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Oh, very auspicious. Yes. So sometimes people have impression that if we don't have money, we cannot have dharma, right? Say to go to some centers or for some courses that's so expensive, right? Which means you get impression that if there's no money, you can't even dharma. You can't have dharma, right? So because some courses they're so expensive. Okay, so what I would say is that if we have the correct sense of dharma, dharma is not about money. Don't forget, Milarepa. How many of you heard about Milarepa? Raise hands. Milarepa. How many of you never heard about Milarepa? Raise hands. Okay, Milarepa was an incredibly great saint. You must read his biography. And if you want fun, read his biography. If you want enlightenment, read his biography. If you want, say, your mind to feel light, read his biography. And if you want to feel sad, read this biography. Everything is there in this biography. If you want bit instructions, meaning one sentence, instruction for enlightenment, read his biography. Right? Very interesting. So funny. Let's not make it too heavy. Right? This gentleman does not even budge an inch, right? You feel so heavy. Oh, right? Okay. In a lighter note, this great saint, Milarepa, he's not like a saint like this. Very funny feature also. Very funny figure. Once, he already became enlightened, where all the mental defilements all removed. But his look was so skinny and may not be haggard, I don't know, but very skinny and looks so undesirable to look at, unpleasant to look at. And he could see some young girls, maybe in their teenage or little in their early 20s, young girls coming, 4 or 5 girls coming. And what he did was that, so this is the only way, there's no other way. There's only way they will come to this side, and he deliberately lie down. For him, there's no difference. His skin color, everything, and the dust is the same. For him, there's no difference. For people, for these girls, right? They look so nice, clean. They don't even want to, let the clothes fall on the. For him, there's no difference. He lie down. He lie down what? Horizontally. So that they have to pass by him. So he lie down and pretended so like he was sleeping. And the girls came and saw this skinny, dark color. Not dark, blue color. Because of always eating the nettles. Green color, not blue. Green color. And the girls, they covered their nose, thinking that this man must be stinking. Covered the nose and said a prayer. What prayer they made? That, oh God, oh Buddha, Bodhisattvas, may we not take birth like this man. And they made this prayer. And just Milarepa, right? He deliberately cut the road. And he opened his eyes in a very sarcastic, smiling smile. And said, the little young girls, you don't have to pray. Even if you pray that you become like me, you'll not become like me. Don't worry, you'll not become one like me. You don't have to pray. You understand what I'm saying? What he said is that you don't have to pray that you don't become like me. Even if you pray you become like me, you will not. Right? Then his message just a deep meaning. The girls were a little startled. Oh, he must be just a Milarepa. They heard about him. They never saw him. They never recognized him. He must be just Milarepa. So they asked, are you just Milarepa? Right? So these girls became his students. Yeah, and then he sang a song of spiritual journey. Okay, so yes, so the point is that some people get the impression that without money there's no dharma. Particularly when you go through some centers where they're so expensive. And rich people, they can go there. And rich people see this is what do you call it? Like a privilege for them. With our money, we can have this dharma. And others, the poor people, they cannot come. So this is exclusive for us. But there's no dharma. There's no dharma. Joseph Milarepa, he did not have anything. And he was more like a naked. Summer, winter, snow, wind. He was like naked. And his sister and the sister's friend, two of them came to visit him oftentimes and said that outside, two of them, the sister and the friend, they could hear the fame of Jesus Milarepa. When they actually come to Jesus Milarepa, he was like a beggar. Then they said, what is my dharma? What is my brother's dharma? People, look at other people who teach dharma. They have wealth, they have entourage, they have such a festivities, huge gathering. And what about my brother's dharma? You are beggar. People around you also beggar, right? So what kind of dharma my brother is following? The sister and the friend asked just Milarepa, and just Milarepa said, listen, my sister, if I am to, so because they could see, other teachers giving teachings, very elaborate. So, just Milarepa said, if I am to behave like them, I can. But this is not your brother's dharma. Your brother's dharma is all inside, it's not outside. No, it's not visual, it's all inside. So with this in mind, if ever your friends or people who you come to encounter with, if they ever come to get impression that without money you cannot have dharma, you must give the proper impression that this is not correct. You getting it? So therefore, this is given that there are so many young people here, in future we never know, you may be the ones to be directly involved or yourself taking the responsibility of running Dharma centers. If that were the case, I would highly suggest that you make Dharma easily accessible to the common people. This is so important. Yeah. Okay. So why I'm saying this is that it's not that I'm saying it. This is what the Buddha actually taught in this. You read already. Where the Buddha taught that, say, the building a stupa. Building a stupa is not easy. It's expensive. Building a stupa. But the Buddha made it very simple. Even the stupa is not necessarily very exotic, but if there are people who build very expensive stupas, rejoice. Don't say that, this is wrong, this is not the Dharma. Rejoice. Because for some ordinary people, they need visual thing. And more expensive, more elaborate, more the faith arises in some people. So whereas by just Milarepa, he will not be fascinated by these outside things. He'll be more fascinated with the internal qualities. So, but for ordinary people, we need that. And for example, say why I'm saying this is just the Buddha himself taught us setting up, but they say building a stupa. Even if you don't have money, still you can make stupa. Say like this glass can be a stupa. This is what the Buddha taught. This glass can be a stupa. Anything that, and you say the stupa, you should have the mantras. You insert this mantra, Ye Dharma mantra, and then the needle as a support, the backbone of this mantra, holding the mantra there. And then as a sign of respect for this, respect for the mantra inside, you usually, in the olden times in India, and which then later learned by the Tibetans, that what acclaimed teachers come, then you, as a sign of respect, there's a parasol on top of the person. So there, as a sign of respect for this, you put some flower like this, a small flower, like parasol. So that is your stupa. And the real stupa is not this symbolic. So this should be seen as your own body. What is inside is Ye Dharma. Inside is Ye Dharma. That I should know what are the causes of suffering, and I should know how to eradicate these, as taught by the Buddha. As simple as that. This is the mantra. And you meditate on this. You are the stupa. The human stupa and the external stupa. Human stupa is the meaning stupa, the real stupa. External stupas as a reminder for us to become a stupa yourself. So that is the meaning. So here the Buddha taught how even to consider the stupa, very simple stupa, saying that in a remote place a stupa the size of a gooseberry fruit, a tiny thing, with a central pillar the size of a needle, and the parasol the size of the flower of the bagula tree, and insert this verse, independent arising. That is the real Dharma. That's the real Dharma Dhatu. And gradually, don't always see this external, manifested within yourself. You become the real stupa. Okay, so this is how Dharma is so easily accessible to everyone. Not necessarily that Dharma should be a Dharma for the rich people. Good. Okay, with this in mind, let's turn to the book. The 60 stanzas of reasoning on the wisdom of emptiness for the ultimate mental well-being. Okay, you all have this book? All have this book? Okay, good. Arya Nagarjuna. We need to know a little bit about this great teacher, Arya Nagarjuna. So just for the time being, let's say 1st century AD. And that the date is little, say, the disputable, but let's say 1st century AD. And this great teacher, he was born to an extremely wealthy family. And the astrologer in those days, when the child is born, the astrologer is always consulted. With the consultation, then they come to discover that this boy is not going to live for more than 7 days. And then the two parents, they requested if anything can be done to prolong the lifespan of the child. And then the astrologer, they suggested to engage in virtuous acts of generosity, say the generosity for the monks, nuns, poor people, and so forth. And then he said that if you do this, it'll extend to 7 months. Then closer to 7 months, again the parents, they request if something can be done. Again multiplied the virtue that you did even more. They did it, and it can be extended to 7 years. Then after this, full stop, nothing can be done. This was the astrologer's words. So closer towards the 7th year, the parents, they could not bear to see their own child dying. So what they did was that they sent the helper with the child, whatever they need on the way to eat, and the support system like gold, silver, whatever they sent. And then just ask the maid to take the child and leave the place so that we cannot see the child dying. They took. And finally, they come across one great saint, Saint Sarah. Saint Sarah. And Saint Sarah could see that through the power of the spiritual evolution, he could see that this child is very special. So asked the person, where you take this child? And then narrated all the story. And the saint said that, don't worry, keep the child with me. And then he performed all these initiations, empowerments, all these the rituals practice that he did related to the associated with the child. And this child eventually became Arya Nagarjuna, right? And revered as the second Buddha in the domain of the Mahayana tradition. He's revered as second Buddha. Okay, so his contributions, the most important contribution that he made is Mula Madhyamaka Karika, the fundamental wisdom of the middle way. This is the most important legacy of this great teacher. So this is what is known as the corpus of the 6 treatises. The corpus of the 6 treatises. The most important one is the Mula Madhyamaka Karika, or in English, the fundamental wisdom of the middle way. In Tibetan, Tsawashirap, Uma Tsawashirap. And the compositions like 60 stanzas, 70 stanzas, the Ratnamala, and so forth. These are all the appendages of this text, Mula Madhyamaka Karika. So this is like the appendage of this main text, the supplementary to the main text. And yet this is so profound. This text is so profound. Is about the ultimate, what constitutes ultimate reality. So we talked about waking up from the sleep of ignorance, to be freed from the entanglement of with the emotions of fear and so forth in the dream, to free us from the destructive emotions, very scary emotions. We have to wake up. What do you mean by waking up? Waking up means to know the reality as it is. What's the reality? So the reality is as explained here. So let's quickly read. I will read this and we'll try to explain. 60 stanzas of the reasoning by Arya Nagarjuna. Sanskrit title, Yukti Sadhika Karika. Tibetan, Rigpa Tukchupa. Homage to the youthful Manjushri. The Arya Manjushri, here, if you don't know Arya Manjushri is the, say, Bodhisattva of wisdom, or Buddha of wisdom. And there's a difference between what is Buddha and what is Bodhisattva. There's a difference there. Buddha is the one who has culminated in the ultimate awakening, ultimate enlightenment. There's a Buddha. And the Bodhisattvas are those who are already in the process or who are on the path to attaining that state. who are aspired to attain their state, these are known as bodhisattvas. And the Arya Manjushri, so we talked about the three perfect qualities of the enlightened one. What are the perfect qualities? What are the three? Perfect knowledge, perfect love, and perfect power. Okay. So, I learned there's a slight difference between how the girls work and how the boys work. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I'll not give you the full hint. Once I was in my kitchen with the young the girls from my brother's daughter, my sister's daughter and son. We made momos, not non-veg momos, veg momos. Very delicious one. The next day, enough were left there, and one of them, who was a nurse, I asked her to take some to the doctor and your colleagues. And they packed the momos, and they were chili paste. So they did not know where to do it. And I know where these extra small containers, plastic containers were. I went there and I brought one, and after the chili paste packed, I was looking for a tiny plastic spoon so that they can use this. And one little girl, one of my nieces, she was staring at me and said, "Uncle, you're like a girl." And I said, "Why?" Then she said, she was very little. She was, I think, like 14, 15. She said, "Uncle, you're like a girl." I said, "Why?" She said that boys will never be so particular, so precise with all these details. You are so much into details. You know that the chili paste and the momos, how will you put the chili paste? With the hand, chili will burn your hand, right? Boys will never think about these, right? They will just give you chili paste and the momo, go, right? And how to, you do something. But the girls will be so meticulous to make sure that the other person is so, user-friendly. Make sure that they don't have to go through unnecessary problems. You just put a small spoon there, finish. Work very easy for them. So this says, okay, I don't mean to hint anything else. I usually understood it. Okay. So, say in the Tibet house, there was an uncle and a niece during the COVID time. Uncle would come to help me with my food. Uncle would come in the evenings. Geshé. So look, the amazing respect, right? Geshé, what should I serve you for the dinner? I would say, not really. I do not have anything. Then the uncle will say, okay, sir, you will leave. Right? And the next day again, same thing. One day his nephew came. His nephew, Geshé, what should I serve for your dinner? I would say, oh, not really. I'll not have dinner today. And the nephew also did the same thing. Yes, sir. Left. And the next day, then the niece came, right? Geshé, what shall I serve for your dinner? Then I said, not really anything. I don't need anything. Then she said, Geshé, some boiled vegetables. I said, not really. There's some fruits, cut fruits. I said, not really. And she said, some soup, right? So look, all these options are given. The boys, no, thank you, right? And left, right? The uncle, sorry, what dinner should I serve? I'll not have anything. Okay, sir. Yes, left. Nephew, same. And if you also say, sir, what should I serve you for dinner? Not really anything. Yes, sir, lift. But the knees come with it. All these different options are given, right? And then finally I felt so empathetic. I said, okay, I'll go for some soup, right? Okay, this is very funny. Okay, a little digression. Okay, Arya Manjushri, representing the wisdom. And Arya Manjushri can be depicted as a Buddha or a Bodhisattva. And in Buddhist teachings, comprehensively speaking, Buddhist teachings can be classified into two, Sutra system and the Tantra system. And these two are not dichotomous. These two are not contradictory. These two are just complementary to each other. In other words, first we need to have the Sutra system. Without the Sutra, the Tantra will make no sense to us. Sutra system must be there. And once you have it intact, you can supplement it with the Tantra. So that's the idea. According to Sutra system, Arya Manjushri, Arya Avalokiteshvara, Arya Vajrapani, Arya Tara, they were all treated as bodhisattvas. Whereas in Tantra system, they're all treated as the Buddhas. So therefore, oftentimes, you see different versions. Sometimes the Buddha of compassion, sometimes the Bodhisattva of compassion. So it depends on which system, Sutra system or Tantra system. So since this text is in the context of Sutra system, we treat our Manjushri as a Bodhisattva on what is known as the 10th level, beyond which the person attains Buddhahood. Okay, so Sanskrit title, Yukti Sadhika Karika, Tibetan Ripotujupa, homage to the youthful Arya Manjushri. So Arya Manjushri embodying the wisdom. What we are studying is the wisdom, the ultimate wisdom, wisdom of emptiness. It says, homage to the great sage who taught the dependent origination, the means by which are eliminated arising and destruction. Okay. Homage to great sage. Great sage refers to the Buddha. And in the Arya Nagarjuna's text, the word of salutation is almost 100%, always to the Buddha. And that too, never ever for the Buddha having performed miracles. Never ever. Whereas the Buddha having taught the wisdom of emptiness. Wisdom of emptiness, wisdom of dependent origination. This is how Arya Nagarjuna always praised the Buddha. So, how can we demarcate between the two things, the evolved beings and the non-evolved beings, or ordinary beings? How can we demarcate between the two? So, there are so many ways of demarcating them. One is by, say, the people who are more attracted towards the physical appearances, like the material gain, material wealth, power, or miracle. Even the miracle is also physical, the manifestation. Say, somebody who's more driven towards these, like fancy things, these are more the ordinary beings. People who are more driven towards the mental qualities, they are the evolved beings. This is how we can demarcate. So Arya Nagarjuna never praised the Buddha for his elegance of his body. He never praised the Buddha for having performed miracles. But it's all about having taught this wisdom of the emptiness, wisdom of dependent origination. So there are so many things that we can learn from Arya Nagarjuna. Look at this. Even the word of salutation to the Buddha that he made is on the basis of the Buddha's giving teachings on the wisdom, not on just telling stories, or not for him performing miracles. So this is something that we have to learn. Okay, I also have to look at things to see what I can learn from this person, the mental qualities, rather than just superficial appearance, superficial attractions. So this is a big lesson for us. This is the first thing that we can really go into. Gade is all about the mental transformation. It has nothing to do with the physical appearances or physical manifestations. Okay. Homage to the great sage, referring to the Buddha. who taught dependent origination, the means by which I eliminated arising and destruction. Or say destruction, don't read this. In fact, this is translated by a great, the translator, one of the greatest of the translators today, the Tudanjibala. Dr. Tudanjibala is really refined translator, really the amazing. So the and in fact, what I did was that usually when I'm to give teachings on this, before I come to the main teachings, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance, I go through the text, teaching English, I have to text, and then I compare it with the Tibetan, original Tibetan, and see if there's the corrections required or any modification required. I do that, and I started doing this with this, and I was just thinking that it must be translated by the average translator. And then I edited few words here and there, and somehow I could sense this very good translation. Very good translation. And then I was curious, who must be the translator? Usually, sometimes English is so good, meanings are just altered. Sometimes the meanings are all good, but the English, it cannot really convey the meaning. I could see the meaning is probably translated, but the readers may not be able to read it properly, understand anything. So I was quite impressed. It's a good translation. Meaning-wise is good. English very good. Who must have been? I checked it and it is Dr. Tudanjimba. No need. Then I said my job is done. I put it back and then I give it to Pravinji, right? Okay, now print it. So, where necessary, yes, of course, for all translators. Unless it is Arya Nagarjuna himself who translated, then this is a different story. Otherwise, other translators, however good, there's some mistake here and there. And my translation sometimes, which I translated like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I read it now, there's so many corrections I can see. Right? Mistakes that I can see in my own translations. So what I'm saying is that if I make corrections here and there, doesn't mean that his translation is not really worthy. This is, I would say, one of the best translations in the world today. Buddhist teachings into English, from Tibetan English, the Tudanjimbala's translation is one of the best translations. I would say, if not the best, the top 2, 3. The top, I would say the top. Yeah. Okay, but sometimes he can be a little flexible here and there, and so this way I'm correct doesn't mean that I'm greater. You're getting it? So if I translate it, somebody else, let alone even if somebody else were to look at somebody who knows the translation well, would look at mine, they would for sure see many mistakes here and there. This is how the translations work. Okay, so our job is to always help each other to improvise the translation. Okay, arising and destruction. Instead of destruction, it is like it is like disintegration. Don't delete it. Just give the alternative translation. Say arising and disintegration. Destruction is a very strong word. The disintegration, meaning that, for example, say the flower arises and the flower disintegrates. The house is built and then the house disintegrates. The person is born and then disintegrates. Not like destruction. Okay. So who taught dependent origination, the means by which I eliminated arising and destruction. So it doesn't mean that arising and disintegration are, say, the eliminated. This is not to be taken too literally. Okay, this is all contextual. Let's say that orange is sweet or sour. Hey, how many of you have tasted orange? Raise hands. All of us. What is the taste? Is it sweet or sour? Raise hands, raise hands, quick. Raise hands. Raise hands. Yes. By the way, your name? If she would tell me. Huh? Sweet and sour. Sour is not sweet. Sweet is not sour. It's a sour sweet. Okay, they coexist. Anyone else? Raise hands. Yes. Depends. Depends on? Huh? How ripe, or what's it proper English? How ripe or how ripen? Both are correct. Both are correct. Okay, how ripe the orange is. If it is ripe, then are you sure the rotten one is the most ripe? Anyone else? Anyone else? Quick, quick, quick. This is not philosophy. If I ask you philosophy questions, then yes, you can be hesitant. It's not philosophy, yeah. Okay, one who tastes, the person who takes it, depends on upon him. In what sense? Yes. Yes, very good. It depends on the situation. If the person has eaten lemon before that, and immediately after that eats orange, it's so sweet. And eats gulab jamun first. What is gulab jamun? Or let's say what is that? Or chocolate cake. First, followed by eating orange, it'll be sour. Right? So, these two tastes are in the same orange, they coexist. But how you interpret that, it depends on the situation. What is the, under what situation? Immediately after taking lemon or immediately after taking the gulab jamun, right? By the way, how many of you don't know gulab jamun? Raise hands. How many don't know gulab jamun? Okay, so Omarla, you know gulab jamun? If you know, please explain this to the Charlie, right? And then, and gentlemen, your name? Huh? Terence. Terence. Okay, Kate, you know gulab jamun? Explain this to Terence. Anybody else who does not know gulab jamun? Okay, your name? Huh? Julius. Okay. Who knows gulab jamun, right? Explain it. Okay. In short, gulab jamun is very sweet snacks. Extremely sweet, right? Made of sugar, dough, little bit of condensed milk. Okay, good. It depends. So in other words, the point is that the means by which are eliminated the arising and the degeneration. Seeing that, say, okay, how many of you had experience of prank? Prank? What is prank? The lady there, the girl there. A joke to someone, yes. Anyone else? That's not true. Okay, can you give an example? Okay. Good, thank you. Anyone else?
Practical joke.
Practical joke, like what?
Like the same thing, scaring somebody, or like something that is not only words but actions.
Yes, in actions, you, in other words, create unnecessary fear in somebody, right? When the other person knows that, what is really behind that is actually your friend who is making you scared as a part of a joke. There's a prank, right? Somebody comes in the form of a ghost in the night, right? With the white bedsheet on yourself. White bedsheet is a ghost, white ghost. There's so much fear, and they remove the, and sometimes you get the beating also. Right? Somebody beats you up, and then you remove the bed sheet, and then you actually, as a human being, and the person feels so relief. Okay, so tell me, does relief comes to you? How this relief came to you? After realizing that it's not the ghost, it's empty of being ghost. You're getting it? It's empty of being ghost. So when you know the reality, the fear dissolves. Okay. So seeing that but you earlier saw that there was a ghost there. Earlier you had a fear because you saw a ghost. What happened to this ghost? Hey. Okay. So was it a ghost or not? It was not a ghost. It was in the facade of a ghost. Facade of a ghost is not a real ghost. So, okay. So this was amazing, right? If I can explain this to you on day 2, this verse, I'm a great success. You're getting it? Okay. Let's say that how many of you have seen mirage? Have seen mirage, resents. Okay, how many of you know mirage? Even though you may not have seen that, but you know what mirage is. Okay, the girl here, tell me, what is mirage?
Actually, it's not the thing, but we just see that it is there. For example, when like a big lake is there, so when we see into it, we can see some kind of palace because at that side there's a mountain, but we feel that it's the real palace.
Okay.
It is real palace.
Yes. Is that mirage? Okay, so what you explained is relevant to what we are discussing here. I'm wondering if somebody knows what is mirage. Anyone? Yes.
So when you go to the desert, sometimes from the far off, it seems that there is a pond or water. I have seen that the moment you go, there are so many ponds around. Actually, when you go, there is nothing, it's only sand.
Okay, your name?
Energy.
Indrajit ji, okay. So what Indrajit is saying is that in the desert you see so many water bodies around, ponds. When you actually go there, when you reach the place, there's nothing really there. So what you earlier saw as water was illusion. So the illusion of seeing something which is not water as water is known as mirage. Object which is not the water but appears as water, that object is known as mirage. You're getting it? Okay. So now okay, so you saw water. Say you are seeing me 1 kilometer away from you in water. You were wondering that I'm seeing him in the water is really water or a mirage. How will you evaluate that? How will you evaluate what you are seeing is water or what you see is real? Is it a mirage or a real water? How do you evaluate that? By the girl there? By going near to the object. How many, your name? How many agree with Sapna? You know what Sapna is? Well, you know what Sapna is? So this is the topic which you're going to discuss all the 7 days. Dream. Right? Okay, thank you, Sapna. Okay, so how do you evaluate this is by going closer, right? By going closer, you discover that there's no water there, which means what will you conclude? What you earlier saw as water was a mirage. What you earlier saw as a mirage, no, as a water was actually a mirage. You getting it? Okay, now tell me, where is that mirage that you are seeing? Where is it? Huh? Okay, raise hands. Where's the mirage? In your mind, but you're looking there. You're not looking at the mind. Anyone else? Where's the mirage? Hey. Dolphins are saying mind. It's nowhere. You are seeing it, right? You are seeing it. So mirage doesn't exist. Mirage exists or not? It exists where? In the retina. So people should come to look at the eyes. Because it's in the retina. Huh? No, I'm not asking the image of the mirage. I'm asking the mirage. Right? So where's the mirage? Over there.
It's the heat rising. So it's not illusion. Yes, from the heat rising.
No, I'm not asking where it's coming from. I'm asking where is it?
In the perception?
In the perception where? Outside or inside?
Inside.
Inside. So we have to come to look at you.
Everybody's inside, whoever perceives.
Also, so your name?
Bunny.
Bunny. So everybody has to come to Bunny's to see, the Bunny's mind to see mirage.
Everybody's well.
Huh? Okay, anyone else? Where is mirage? Okay. Where? Outside or inside? In the mind, inside the mind. Okay. So people like to see the Ajitogala's mind? Okay. Where's the mirage? This is a big question. Huh? Huh? Where is it? Outside, inside? Inside. So we have to go to all Jigmelas you, to your place, to your mind. Yes. Okay. So he'll be very busy. Okay. Anyone else? Yes. It's nowhere. Does it not exist? It doesn't. Mirage doesn't exist. Okay. That's interesting. How many say that mirage does not exist? How many say mirage does exist, but it's not? It does exist. It exists as a mirage. It does not exist as water. Understand? Okay, many. Okay, so how do you decide whether mirage exists or not? Anyone? How do you decide? So because Advaita is saying mirage does not exist in the first place, and the other saying it does exist. How do you evaluate? Huh? This big question. Yes.
It's an optical illusion, but we think it as a real. So
Does it exist? Does it exist?
not real.
Does it exist? So true. Okay, anyone else? Okay, the boy over there?
Mirage objectively and technically exists. It exists in the real world. So even if he comes over my place, he can see it. Even if someone else comes, it is there. Actually there. We're not talking about a water body, is it there? We're talking about a mirage.
Are you from physics background? What's your background? You look like a physicist. How you talk, so articulate, very clear. Okay, thank you. So your name? What Rinzila is saying is that mirage should exist because anybody looks at it, you are seeing something. But what you are seeing, it appears as water. It does not exist as water, but it does exist. If it does not exist, then people should not be looking at the same object to say that, oh, there's the water body there, there's a mirage there. They point to the same object, okay, which means that there's something there. But what is there? It appears as water. It is not water. It's mirage. So mirage exists, but doesn't exist as water. This is what Rinzila is saying. Okay.
Wanted to add that also, even when you know it's a mirage, if you're in that same place where you see it, it still stays there as a mirage. Even when you know that it's not water and it is a mirage, it still stays there.
Okay, so these two are, the same point, and the very good point. And so two of you give the answer to my question, right? So what I will say is, I don't mean to reject you. I'd like to give a question, and then you give the answer, and see how you can answer it properly. Say, we all put on the blue glasses on, and look at this snow. The whole Mount Everest snow appears as blue. You're getting it? And we're all saying that there's a blue snow there, right? And the blue snow never disappears till you remove the glasses. As long as you put on the glasses, you continue to see the blue snow there. Does it mean the blue snow is there? No. So likewise, how can you say the mirage is there? Simply because we are seeing the same thing all the time. Everybody is seeing the same thing doesn't mean that it should be there. Nature is making us believe that there's the blue snow there. Yes, yes. It doesn't matter whether man-made or, right? Wow. So those people who are gifted with the colorblind, right? So for them, there's no color. Because God gives them with the blind, they were colorblind. You're right. So therefore, it's black and white. Okay. Good. Okay. 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 Anybody who can explain this so that others can easily understand it? Huh? We get stuck there in the first verse. What? You want to explain this? Yeah. Yes, yes, of course, of course.
I feel that that exists as a light refraction phenomenon, but not as a object, universal object, like mirage or the mountain appearing blue. It's because of the phenomena that the light passes through the blue lens.
Okay, blue snow, does it exist?
Snow can have many colors that are probably not in the visual spectrum.
Blue snow, does it exist?
I mean, if you wear blue glass, then it may appear as blue. The phenomena can exist, but not.
No, I did not ask whether it can appear as blue. My question, does it exist? Just say no. And make it very simple. Right? Okay, good. Okay. So the point is that what is being taught here is that, say, we need to know, say, waking up. When you wake up, in what way waking up helps us to remove the fears of nightmare? Quick, somebody, quick. In what way it helps us to remove the fear of nightmare by waking up? Quick. No, raise hands. Raise hands. Quick, somebody. The boy there? Your name? Yeah, John, tell me. Repeat what? Question. The question is, waking up, how does waking up help us to remove the fears of nightmare? Okay, the girl there? So? But in the dream you fight with the others. There's no people in the dream. There you are fighting. No, you are sleeping. Still the people are not there. Nobody's there. When you sleep, when you have the dream, are there people fighting with you? Not real, right? So why are you fighting? The boy there.
When we wake up, it helps us to realize the reality and helps us to know that what we were showing was just a dream.
Okay, so your name? Pamela Ginzala is saying that when you wake up, in what it helps is that you discover the reality. What's the reality? That what the people, the dream people with whom you are fighting, they were actually not real. This is reality. So the dream people, they were empty of being real. That's a reality. Do you get it? Okay, now each one of us, we have to be able to repeat what Lama Genzala said. Ready? Each one of us. Ready? Ready to sense. If you're ready to sense. Hey, what happened? Raise hands. Okay. Those who are not raising your hands, you don't want to budge an inch. Right? You don't want to budge an inch. Okay, no matter what you say, does not move. Okay. Yes, Pinzole. When you wake up, you discover the reality. What's the reality? What I earlier saw, the people with whom I fought, they were not real. They were empty of being real. That's the reality. Tell me, what's the reality of that dream? One by one. Ready? One by one. From left to right or right to left? Can you tell me? What's the reality? Reality is that the people with whom you were fighting the dream, they were not real. They were empty of being real. That's the reality. Okay, should I begin from here or here? Two of you decide. Now Pierre is looking at here. And Brother TP is looking at me. Okay, Brother TP.
I'm not sure of the definition of
Not definition, just explain.
reality. What do you mean? Just now, I didn't get it.
The people with whom you are fighting in the dream, they're empty of being real. That is the reality. Right? Okay, how many got it? Raise hands.
Yeah, and the question?
Question was the reality. And the answer is already given. Right? How many got the question? How many got the answer? Raise hands. Okay, good. So now the okay, raise hands. Who's going to repeat the question? And who's going to repeat the answer? Raise hands. Raise hands, raise hands. Raise hands. Oh. Okay, the girl over there.
The answer is that kind of wake up, perpetrating the unsilent solution and then the unsilent reality is.
What's the reality?
Reality that is not the dream, like what real.
No, what is the reality? What is the reality that you've discovered upon waking up? That the contents of the dream were not real, were empty of being real. Not real, empty of being real. How many got it? Raise hands. Okay, how many can say this? Raise hand. Okay, Ajigasana.
The dream people were empty of being real.
The dream people were being empty of being real. Very good. Sheripema? Upon waking up.
The answer of the question.
The answer.
Answer is that upon waking up, all nuances in the Tibet and Wellbeing.
All the objects or the people in the dream are empty of being real. Very good. Yes.
In simplistic ways, I think the dream is created by our own mind, and it's not real, right? But the reality is when we wake up, and we either open and see the thing around us, that makes the difference that this is not real and this is real. So the reality is when we open up, it's more clear.
So what is that reality that you discovered upon waking up?
You can discover the reality when you wake up from the dream, which is not the real thing.
Very good. The dream not being real. The contents of the dream not being real is the reality that I discovered. The girl over there?
But then, when you wake up, you realize this reality, but I don't think this reality is not real.
Say it again. Okay, so first let us take one step. First step is done, right? Look at how much time I'm spending for people to get to the first step. You are jumping to the 10th step. It's wonderful. But first let us climb the first step, right? Okay, anybody last? Anyone who likes to give dance over there?
Let me try and explain it in simple terms the way I understood it. The question was how waking up eliminate mind.
Very good.
The answer is waking up brings us back to reality. Waking up helps us understand that the dream was an illusion. Dream was a mirage.
Answer is perfect. That waking up helps us to get free from the nightmare, because then you come to discover the reality that the contents of dream are empty of being real. Very good. Okay. Now what most of you already said, let's move to the next step. What's your girl? The girl's name, what's your name? Garina. Okay, let's move to the Garinas. Now, just as you discover that the dream is empty of being real, now, even what we see as what is happening now, waking up is also empty of being real. In other words, everything is empty of being real. Let me repeat it. So discovering the dream, contents of dream as empty of being real is the example. And with this example, our job is to know that everything is empty of being real. Everything is empty of being real. How do we know that? This is a big question, and we cannot take it blindly. Meaning that we cannot just blindly follow, Arya Nagarjuna taught it, Buddha taught it. No, this is not how it works. We have to know how it works. For example, say that the gravity, how the gravity works. For example, like the gadgets, how the laptop works, how the iPad works, how somebody said it may be true. No, we have to know how it works. So there's a proper mechanism there. We have to know the mechanism, how everything is empty of being real. So just as you wake up from the dream, you're freed from the nightmare of the dream. We wake up from the conventional world, we are freed from the nightmare of the conventional world. You getting it? Okay. So anecdote that I was sharing with you, there are two parties and I'm in the middle. Hey, two parties there, I'm in the middle, and I'm trying to bridge the two, and both of them said no, right? So they say the party A says no, Geshe. Party B says no, Geshe. And Geshe says both of them are seen as so objective real, right? So when you see this objective real, there's a problem. Party A seeing Party B and Geshe as objective real, there's a problem. Party B seeing Party A and Geshe as objective real, there's a problem. Geshe seeing both of them as objective real, there's a problem. So that the point is that if you wake up from this sleep of ignorance, all our fears, agitation of our life will stop. That is the absolute peace. Okay, so how to do that? We have to know the mechanism. Don't just pray, Buddha, please let me have the experience. It will never happen, right? It's not that, what is this? There's no faith. There's no element of faith. It's just purely mechanical thing. Reality. Say, believe it or not, even if I pray to Buddha, 100,000 times, I will not become a Nobel laureate in physics, 100%. Do you agree with me or not? If you want to become Nobel laureate, you have to study. The Buddha taught study. You're getting it? So the faith alone will never take us to full awakening. So for that we need to know the mechanism by which the awakening happens. So what we said is that awakening happens by seeing the reality. And what's the reality? The reality is that everything is empty of being objectively real. Okay, next. Okay, look at this. What do you see? Right? Many people who know me so well, they would not even look at it. They will say it's a flower. They know that he must be holding a flower. You getting it? Okay, now what is my right hand? Nothing. Right? Don't make it complicated. Empty of flower. Right? Just in nothing. You getting it? Just in nothing. It's correct. It's correct. It's correct. But just in nothing. You're getting it? Right? So, the philosophers, they are, philosophers, they try to just, they ostracize the common people from their domain. They don't allow them to come into philosophy. It's just with jargons of philosophy. So the ordinary people, they will feel, lost. And then that's good. So they stay in this themselves. So the philosophers, right, so they, okay, make things simple. So what is my left hand? A yellow flower. What is my right hand? Nothing. Just imagine a blue flower. Imagine a blue flower. Okay, now tell me, what is my left hand? Yellow flower. What is my left hand? Huh? Okay, say the left hand is a yellow flower. In my right hand is an imaginary blue flower. Tell me, what's the difference between these two things? Raise your hands. Yes, over there, the boy, Jimela. Yes, tell me. Okay, the one in my left hand exists, and the right hand doesn't exist. Anyone else? There are so many differences there. The boy here.
The yellow flower exists in reality and the blue flower exists in your imagination.
Okay, the one in my right hand exists in my imagination. Good, John. The yellow flower is physical, and the one in my right hand is it's just a mental image. Okay. It comes to the say, listen, do you agree with me? You talked about one is real there, the other one is in your mind, imaginary, right? This is how you described. Can I use the word that this flower, in the loose sense, that this flower exists from the object and the imaginary flower exists from the mind, from the subject? Do you agree? Okay, so this in loose sense meaning that what's the real reality we're going to explore. In the loose sense, before we jump into the reality, in loose sense we can say that this yellow flower exists objectively, yes, and the imaginary blue flower exists subjectively. You're getting it? This is very important concept. Okay, let's say dream. It exists objectively, subjectively. Subjectively. Dream exists subjectively. And mirage exists objectively, subjectively. Huh? Okay. So how many of you would say objectively raise hands? Subjectively? Okay, half. So we need to settle on this. How many have seen rainbow? Rainbow. Objectively, subjectively. It exists objectively, subjectively. Okay, again there's a split there. Tell me, how many of you think rainbow is objectively real? Objectively real. How many think subjectively real? Raise hands. Again we see it's split by half. So it's like the Democrats and the Republican, right? It's half always. Okay. Dream. Subjective, objective. Huh? Raise hands, subjective, raise hands. Dream, objective, raise hands. Dream, objective. What makes you think it's objective? Dream is purely coming from your mind or from the object? It's subjective. Very good. So in the context of flower, it's subjective. Okay. Now let's say that when we say emptiness, it doesn't mean that it's empty completely. You're getting it? Say, we all said that dream is subjective. Dream, does it exist or not? Dream exists, resents. Dream exists. It exists subjectively, resents. It does not exist objectively, resents. Good. So from this, what we learned is that dream exists subjectively. So now we are learning the technical side of this. When I say, okay, the example is that, let's say that this flower is lying next to a jirji. And then I go and grab the flower and say that this is mine. Right? This is mine. Does it mean that, do you agree with me that it's another way of saying it is not yours? Do you agree? When I say it's mine, it's another way of saying it is not yours. If I say it's not yours, it's very offensive. Right? It's very offensive. But if I say it's mine, it is a nice way of saying it's not yours. Actually, these two mean the same. Right? Not yours, not empty, nil. They mean the same. So when I say it is mine, it's another way of saying it is empty of being yours. You agree? How many agree with me, resents? Good. Now when I say the dream is subjective, it implies what? Is empty of being objective. So when we say emptiness, it simply means, think of the dream. You all said the dream exists, but it's empty of being objective. The dream is empty of objective reality, objective existence. So when we say emptiness simply means, emptiness is short form of emptiness of objective existence. It doesn't mean that the flower doesn't exist. Flower exists, but it's empty of objective existence. You're getting it? Emptiness means that's empty of objective existence. It doesn't mean that flower doesn't exist. It does exist. Everything exists, but nothing exists objectively. Okay, what will be the next question? Was it reality, or somebody said how? Who said it? No, how is it empty of objective existence? How is it empty of objective existence? The reality is the flower being empty of objective existence is the reality. So what's the reality? Reality is that the flower being empty of objective existence is the reality. Right? But how do you know that? This next question. You getting it? Okay. So, say, okay, now look at the person sitting next to you. Look at the person sitting next to you. Wow, people are smiling. Right? You're all enjoying. Smiling. I didn't ask you to smile. I just asked you to look at the other person. Okay, look at the other person. Okay, still they are smiling. Some people are trying to control their smile. Right, some try to control the smile. Okay, so we see that you're smiling at the other person. Now, close your eyes and think of the person who made you smile. Okay, good. Nobody's smiling now. Right? If you smile now, I will ask Ajirji if there is a mental hospital nearby. You're getting it? You will be sent to the mental hospital. Nobody smiled. Now tell me, in the first case you smiled. In the second case you did not smile. In the first case, the face, it made you smile. In the second case, you thought of the same face, but it did not make you smile. It did not make you smile. Why? Anyone? Raise your hands. Why in the first case you smiled, when the second case you did not smile? Why?
Engaging with them in your mind.
No, you can engage. What's the problem? Okay, you don't engage with it. Okay, good. Yes, yes, the Sabna. Did you hear what Sabna is saying? Sabna is saying that the other person, when you look at the other person, you see the person is not your mind. It's not a part of your mind. When you think of this, it's just, what are you thinking? It's all purely coming from your mind. When you know that it's coming from your mind, then your emotions are under your control. Right? Emotions are under your control. When you think that it is out of your mind, outside your mind, or independent of your mind, then your emotion becomes vulnerable. Right? Vulnerable meaning that if it's pleasant, smile. And if it's not pleasant, still you have to smile. Because that, you may be wondering what the other person thinks about me. Right? So it makes you smile. Whereas if you know that it's purely coming from your mind, your emotion is under control. Right? And so when you know it's coming from your mind, still you smile means, then right? You know what it is. Your name? The girl here. And they say if somebody smiles, then what's the thing? No, I'm asking the Mian. If somebody smiles, just think of the person smiles and mental illness, right? Okay, thank you, Mian. Okay, so the point is that when you know that it's your own mental construct, that your mind is creating it, then your emotions are under control. Whereas when you see it's independent of your mind, there, your emotion becomes vulnerable. You become vulnerable to your emotions. You getting it? So, when you saying somebody who dislikes you, the person passes by, what happens? Say you are meditating, right? Okay, today I have a good time in the what? Diabag Center, Diabag Institute. Wow, so peaceful. And suddenly from nowhere, the person, your neighbor, very complicated neighbor, passes by. Right? What happens? Hey. Huh? Sananda. A very complicated neighbor passes by you. You in Diabag suddenly. Then what happens to you? Like you, this is a face. Yes, what happened? Right? So, what happened? Right? Okay. So this is it. Then what happens? And if the person, and then the person didn't know that you were there, and the person stops there right in front of you, right? Then your heart starts to palpitate, right? Dick, 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 right? Okay. So look. So you look. Do you want to experience that feeling? Huh? Dick, dick. You want to experience that? You don't want to experience that, but it happens. You are vulnerable. You're weak. Whereas, right, you are not expecting your mom, dad, someone who you love so much, and you are not expecting, and suddenly you're just, and then the person passes by. What happens? There's excitement. You burst into excitement. You're getting it? Again, you are weak. You are vulnerable to the emotions because of seeing them as objectively real. Whereas, okay, think of the nasty person. Nasty person, the person the person who dislikes you. Think of that person. Close your eyes and think of that person. And I'm sure many of you say, I don't have such person. Well, you have, I know. Right? Think of that person. Okay, no, you are thinking about this person, still you are smiling because you know that it's your emotions under control. Right? Okay, now think of the very kind person, extremely nice person passing by you. Okay, still you are not smiling. Because although you think of the good persons passing by you, knowing that it's coming from a mind, your emotions are under control. You're getting it? Your emotions are under control. For example, His Holiness. His Holiness, when he in the public gatherings, say small children, they perform the dance, right? And His Holiness, if you keep him by himself, right, dance, song, these are totally boring for him. I know His Holiness. It's very boring, right? His emotion is total under control with respect to a dance. It doesn't become excited. Total under control. But when the small children are there, look at His Holiness. His Holiness will do like this, do like this. Inside, there's no interest. By doing this just to make the small children happy. Your emotions under total control. But given the impression is so like, I'm with you, right? Is all of compassion. So your negative emotions are under control, involuntary emotions are control, and the compassion manifests to make others happy. This is the power of the Bodhisattva's practice. Okay, so under control, so likewise seeing everything like a dream, nothing objectively real, it's all coming from a mind, your emotions come under control. And no fear, no anger, no attachment, no jealousy, none of these emotions, they will take you over. They're under control. Okay, so with this, the point is that from this, what is the message? Take away. Anyone? What do we need to learn if we want to manage our emotions? They have the emotions out of control. What should we have to do? Quick. Resent. Indrajitji. Okay, to know, very good. Anyone else who likes to add or modify, whatever? Ajay Kesana? To make distinction between objective and subjective, and to know that objective is non-existent, everything is subjective. To know that nothing is the objective, everything is subjective. To know this, your emotions will come under control. You getting it? So what is the job? What is the job now? Raise hands. Raise hands. What is the job now? Raise hands. Yes, the girl here. Think of everything as mental projection, or this is the meaning of they tame your mind. How? By knowing everything is mental projection, or things are empty of objective existence. So we can say it in all these different forms. You're getting it? So our job is to study the emptiness of objective existence and put it in different words that everything is subjective real. And if you really understand this is the best way of understanding to how to tame your mind. You're getting it? Good. Okay, so now it becomes easier for us. So we see that in our life, do you agree with me that our complications in our life, our complications are somehow related to arising and disintegration, arising and disintegration. You agree with me? For example, like say, retreat, Deer Park, right? Delhi pollution, Deer Park, very clear weather, very fresh air. Yes, Ajirji, fresh air, right? Delhi very polluted, fresh air. So I don't know about the retreat, but for sure I will have a fresh air. So there's excitement there. Now, for me, I'm meeting with the fresh air is arising, right? And then the meeting with the pollution is decreasing, right? Arising, ceasing, right? And then you say together, being together, you come to know each other, and then, this person is so beneficial in helping me with this. let's say the Sonamla is so helpful, right? Explaining things for us, good discussion. So, we have created a Sangha member. Okay, now we are separating. What do you mean separating? Now this coming together is disintegrating. And you feel sad, right? So difficult relationship is disintegrating, very happy, right? So we see that our life is just arising of good things, happy. Degenerating of good things, unhappy. Arising of bad things, very unhappy. Disintegrating of bad things, very happy, right? Ukraine war arising, very unhappy. Ukraine war, how I wish that it comes to stop, is very happy. Likewise, the Hamas and the Israel war is arising, very sad. And it should stop. If it stops, if it disintegrates, if it goes away, I'll be so happy. So, my complicated neighbor, right? Okay, now after retreat, again I have to go include arising of meeting with the what? Complicated neighbor happens, very unhappy, right? Oh, now complicating neighbor is the what? Leaving for the what? Huh? Leaving for vacation, or say the moving the place altogether, very happy. You're getting it? A good person is coming, very happy. Good person leaving, very unhappy. So this is our life. So this is our life. And then the what? So some politicians, one of the propaganda is what? Change. Right? Change means what? What was already existent should stop. New things should arise. Again, look, arising and ceasing, arising, ceasing. This is what dominates our life. And then that throws us into different emotions. So, if you see this phenomenon of arising, ceasing as like a dream, anything which is related, associated with this phenomenon of arising, ceasing, we see them as dream. So, we have to see that arising and ceasing do not exist objectively. Arising and ceasing exists subjectively. They are empty of objective existence. Okay. So let's read the first verse. Homage to the great sage who taught independent origination, the means by which are eliminated arising and disintegration, meaning that eliminated objective arising and objective disintegration. So how can we understand this? We can understand this by the concept of dependent origination. Okay, it was till what time? Okay, we'll stop here now. Yes. Yeah. So I stop here now. Okay. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvatyata